What is going on, guys? It's Justin from the J Media back with another video. So today we'll be having another install video, and that will be on my 2008 Honda Civic Si. So what we have over here in this box, let me show you guys. Well, actually, before I show you guys what's in here, let me show you guys what we'll be doing. We'll be doing an interior mod. So this will work for any 8th gen Honda Civic, whether it's the LX, DX, EX, SI model. I have the 2-door coupe, but the 4-door sedan will work just the same. So if you guys want to find out how to install this, watch the whole video. But in the interior, the only thing that looks really dated is this stereo system right here. Like I said, this is a 2008 car, and you know, back then they don't have stuff like Bluetooth and all that good stuff. There's a CD player, there's the auxiliary cord, and the radio. So yeah, I'm trying to update my interior to make it look more modern, and I went with a touchscreen double din, so that will replace this entire unit right here. So yeah, one last look at it. It's gonna look really modern. I'm gonna have Apple Carplay or Android Auto. So yeah, super awesome, really excited. So let's look inside this box here. So first things first, we have a dash kit. So like I said, this is not a universal kit. This is made for the 8th gen Honda Civics, which is 2000, I believe 2007 to the 2011 Honda Civics. So here's the dash kit. I'm gonna lay it down here, see what else is in the box. So we have some wiring stuff, as well as another box. So this looks pretty nice. So there's a bunch of options out there, but this one here is a great option. I'm pretty excited to get it installed. It says all safe navigation system. Comes in nice packaging. Ooh, so this is the screen itself. Looks almost like a tablet. Looks really nice. And on the back, this way you're gonna connect all your different stuff. So this is a 10.1 inch, if you guys are wondering the size of it. And with the dash kit, it's just gonna sit right like that. So let's see what else is in the box. So more wires, a nice thank you card, as well as I guess a manual on how to use it. Like I said, it does have Android Auto. So yeah, a bunch of wiring stuff here. So this thing right here, so there's a bunch of stuff. A lot of this is pretty new to me. I've done an installation on double din before, on my 2015 Mitsubishi Lancer GT, just to show you guys. It does have a touch screen from the factory. It's kind of hard to see, but I do have a double din right now sitting right there. So wiring wise, we have this. So let me see. So this is for like your audio and video and all that stuff. One thing to note, if you have the Civic Si model like I do, it does have factory amps, so a little bit of wire splicing is needed. I'll go through that later. Let's see, what do we have here? So more cables to connect to the screen. And over here, another bag. Bunch of wires. Typically electrical stuff is quite a nightmare for me, but this one hopefully goes pretty smoothly. So this over here is a GPS antenna. So you connect it to the back of that and you can run on GPS. So if you don't, you know, you connect your phone to Android Auto, you could still use Google Maps. More wires. This one here is pretty cool. It's like a microphone, so I'm guessing something like if you say hey Google or hey Siri, it might work. So that's pretty cool. And what's awesome is they included some stuff as well. So this is your plastic pry tool remover, as well as a nice little screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver. So if you don't have that, that's fine. You could always use a flat tip screwdriver to pry open, but it's nice that they gave, you know, stuff like that to use. So yeah, a bunch of wiring work. What we have to do first is uninstall the OEM stuff and then get to installing the new one. So here's a little side-by-side OEM off the market. Pretty excited to get this installed. Like I said, it looks so much better, so much more modern. Okay, so I'm in the interior of my Honda Civic. So like I said, the dash kit replaces this whole piece right here. You'll be transferring over your vent as well as these knobs. Everything else is going to change. So from my research, what you have to do is pretty much remove part of this dash as well as this piece here to get this whole thing out. So let's get started with removing some trim pieces. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to remove this piece right here, this little coin holder. All you got to do is kind of like pry it. Like say if you have a plastic remover tool, cool. Flat tip screwdriver works too. You can just kind of just pry it just like that, and there'll be a screw right here. So just grab your handy dandy screwdriver, unscrew it. What you're doing is you're trying to take off the screw so you can remove this top piece up here, which is connected to this piece. Okay, so now that the screw is removed, you can try to yank on this piece. It should pop right off. There might be some like connectors on the back since you have these, but just try to yank at it gently. And what you want to do is just grab where your gauge cluster is, just grab it and pull it forward. Okay, so just like that, accidentally pushed the horn by accident, but just like that you pretty much have access to removing this piece. And just don't forget to unplug these wires on the back as well, or if you don't want to unplug it, it's fine, you could just leave it to the side. But yeah, if you do want to put this trim piece aside, unplug these wires. So right beneath the radio, there's this piece right here, this piece that you have to pry open. You can either use a flat tip screwdriver, or in my case I have this nice little plastic remover they sent. So you're going to pry it open, and then there's going to be 2 bolts in there you have to remove. Okay, so after you remove that plastic cover right underneath the radio, there are 2 screws. So let me see if I can get my camera to fit. It is quite a tight spot. So I hope you guys can see there's one right there, and there's supposed to be another one right there. So you want to remove both these screws. So it's quite a pain, but I finally managed to take both of these screws out. So that's how the screws look. Like I said, there's 2 of them, and you could either use a Phillips screwdriver to remove it, or if you have a ratchet, you can use a 5/16 ratchet. I use a 5/16 as well as extension to reach in there and just pretty much take it out. So with both screws out, I believe I should be able to yank this off now. So just some plastic clips, slowly take your time to pull it out. There we go. And there are all these clips, so just take your time to remove them one by one. So I went ahead and disconnected all these plugs. So most of them connect to the back of the radio, except for these 2. The green and blue one, I believe, are for the AC controls. So yeah, what we're gonna do is remove the vent, as well as remove the different knobs, this piece right here, and transfer them over to the new dash kit. And if you flip to the back of the OEM stereo, a lot of them, or I should say all of them, are held in by Phillips screwdriver. So pretty easy. Take off the vent, just 1, 2, 3 screws to take off the air vent, and then remove all these little ones as well, which are your AC control knobs and your emergency, so your HVAC system. Okay, so I pretty much have almost all my pieces out. So we have my emergency right here that goes on the dash kit, just marking it up. my air AC vent that goes right here, and we also have the climate control for my AC. So after removing the 4 screws, you guys might be wondering, how does it come off? So you want to go ahead and push, which I already did, push it pretty hard, and the knobs pop right off. There you go. So yeah, let me go ahead and transfer everything over. Alright, and just like that, I have moved emergency as well as the AC vents and my HVAC AC controls over. Like I said, really easy. You just have to remove some screws and put it on. So now I'm gonna have the screen put on. So a little comparison, OEM versus aftermarket. Let's go ahead and throw on the screen. So I have the screen all mounted up. So on the back, all you have to do is attach 4 screws. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 screws, and you can attach the double din on. So yeah, so now it's nice and secure. It's not gonna fall off. It looks so much better and so much more modern in my interior now. So yeah, all that's left to do is pretty much just plug everything back in. With the Civic Si, it's a little bit different. I'll show you guys. If you guys just have normal Honda Civics without the premium sound system, you don't have to do this step. But if you have a Civic Si, or if your car comes with the premium sound system, it says it on here if you guys are wondering, premium audio system. That's how you know if you have it or not. Then you have to do this extra step. Okay, so I'm back inside the car. As you can see, let me show you guys what wires we have here first. So these wires right here, they would go to the HVAC unit. And then this right here, also part of the HVAC unit. So all these were from the AC controls that we unplugged earlier, as well as the signal, the emergency signal. And then for the actual radio itself, the stereo, we have to plug in these, as well as this one right here. So yeah, these are the stuff that I see dangling. So also came with a bunch of wires, so let's go ahead and figure out what is what first. So Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, that's what the USB are. So I'm gonna plug it in here. So let me go ahead and sort out the wiring stuff, plug it in. It's pretty much self-explanatory. So as you see over here, for example, this one has like 4 holes. You just find one with 4 holes, plug it right in. That's for the USB cable. So they came with 2 of them. So let me go ahead and plug in whatever I can. So I just plug in the wires. I know it looks like a hot mess right now. So like I said, pretty much self-explanatory because the sizes are all different. So over here, I plug in this box to the OEM harness because the size fits. Same for the other one. What I'm going to be doing is, I'm not going to do any splicing yet. Apparently, I know some guys are saying that with this harness right here, you have to go ahead and splice into the light blue cable and connect it, otherwise the amp won't power on because it kind of dangles. But in my case, it did come with this adapter to connect to, so hopefully that works. And both of these feed into a black connector, which will go on the back of the unit. Let's see what else we have here. And then there's this extra one here that just dangles. I believe this right here connects to the power right over here. So circle goes to the power. Again, this one right here. And then this hot mess here. Let me explain what's going on. So I put this here. All these are if you have extra stuff like you're trying to connect you know, video or audio, aftermarket amps, stuff like that. But there's just one that I use. It says mic, so it's all labeled, which is super awesome. And they did provide a little microphone here. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, mount it somewhere. So maybe, like I said, I could use it to connect the Siri or Hey Google and stuff like that, Google Assistant. And I connected the 2 of the small ones here, which are my Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. You can hook up a USB, connect your phone. And there's one right here, it says GPS. So I hooked it up to the GPS one. And I can go ahead and stick this somewhere else. I didn't undo the zip ties yet just because I'm not sure how long I want it to be. I want to keep it neat and organized. There's one more here that says 4G. So same thing, I connect it to this. I'm guessing this is some sort of you know, connects to the internet. So yeah, I think more or less I have it. The only two wires I didn't use are these. So yeah, this one is pretty much the same as this. Let me go ahead and plug everything on, and before I put everything back together, I just want to make sure it works. See if my sound comes on, see if the unit powers up before we put everything back in place. So to test if it powers on, all I'm going to do is connect this right here as well as this black connector, so that should power it up. Okay, so I didn't mount it in place. I just connected, like I said, those two wires, the black connector as well as the circle wire. So let me go ahead and try to start up my car, put it to on position, and see if it powers up. Ooh, first power up. So it's loading. I'm gonna let it load. Give it a couple minutes. Alright, so seems like it powers up. Perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to connect my phone to this unit with Bluetooth and see if it plays any music. Okay, so I already have my phone connected, and well, so I'm just playing around with it, even the radio, no sound. So as expected, it's not because this thing is faulty, but from some videos that I watched, like I said, since I have the premium sound system, I do have to mess around with the wiring a little bit. I already connected my phone, so I'm trying to play music. Let's see. Yeah, so it seems like even though my phone is playing music, it's connected already, it's not actually playing any music. So let me go ahead and do some splicing. I do have to splice a wire and connect it, and I should get my sound on. Okay, so I took everything back again. If you don't have the premium audio system on your car, which the Civic Si does, and I think certain EX model does as well, you'll be fine. It should power right up. But mine being the Civic Si model, it has a factory amp. So what I have to do is I have to splice. So if you see, there's this smaller one and the bigger one. This is the factory harness. I have to splice into one of the wires, which is the baby blue wire. Let me get a little up close to show you guys. So there's a bunch of wires here, but this right here, the baby blue wire, is what I have to splice into. That should give me sound. And if you look over here, I'm going to be connecting it to, you see this whole mess of wires. There's one outstanding blue wire that just dangles like that. I believe all I have to do is use a wire stripper, strip that, connect it. I'm not gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna touch it and twist it, make sure I have sound before I actually go ahead and, you know, solder it together. So I just went ahead and used a wire stripper, and like I said, I stripped part of it, and now I'm gonna go ahead and cut this baby blue wire right here. So I connected those two wires together, like I said, the light blue wire as well as the blue wire, and bam, music works. Took it back out just to show you guys. So like I said, that is the blue wire coming from the aftermarket radio, and that is the baby blue wire that I spliced. You can see the other end just hanging out over here. So yeah, there you have it. And just to play it safe, I also went ahead and used electrical tape to go ahead and tape up the loose end, just so I don't have wires dangling. I don't want to get a short circuit or anything like that. So let me go ahead and put everything back together. I want to make sure that, you know, stuff like the Apple CarPlay wires are nice. I'm going to have them wired to the glove box, and then make sure stuff like my GPS and all that, I can wire it somewhere up here. Okay, so now that I make sure everything's working, I fed all my wires, like I said, through the glove box. And I have this little speaker microphone wire over here, because I'm going to have it mounted somewhere up here. I haven't quite decided yet. It is quite a mess over here, but let me go ahead and put this back together. Like I said, just pushing the clips. Same thing, you have these two bolts, the two annoying bolts that are underneath. And then pretty much this piece goes back on, and get all these things situated. So you have your GPS to attach somewhere. I'm gonna hide my Android Auto USB cables in a glove box, and then I also have this other piece right here, which is my 4G connection. I'm probably gonna have it somewhere up there in the corner. Alright, so pretty much have my dash back together. Like I said, all in all, just 3 screws. You can remove the whole thing. 2 screws underneath that's really hard to remove. 1 more screw over here. Once you reclip, don't forget there's 3 clips right here to clip it back together. And just push this back together. Just like that. You're all set. And I hope you guys like it. If you guys stay to the very end, don't forget to hit a like and subscribe. So like I said, this works the same for all 8th gen Honda Civics. For the Civic Si, it's a little bit different because you have your factory amp. If I have to rate this on a difficulty scale of 1 to 10, I will rate this maybe a 3. So like I said, all you really need is a screwdriver. 5/16 wrench, not everyone has, but screwdriver. Honda is really easy to work on. You literally just have to take 3 screws out to just remove the whole OEM stereo. So it's like super easy, pretty dummy proof. I hope you guys like it. Again, if you guys want to buy this, I'm gonna have a link in the description. Spent about $300 and got this kit, and yeah, works great, looks great, definitely looks really OEM. If you look, even the color is really similar. It looked like it could come with the car. So leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and catch you guys in the next video.